Listen, 2025 is here, and if you want to make it your year, if you want to dominate, grow, and live at your peak, you need to eliminate the roadblocks that are holding you back. And let me tell you, most people, they sabotage their own success without even realizing it. They fall into patterns, habits, and ways of thinking that keep them stuck. But not you, not this time. I'm going to give you 5 mistakes that will kill your progress if you let them. But the good news, you don't have to, because once you become aware of them, you can cut them out, change your mindset, and step into the version of you that you were meant to be. Procrastination over progress. We've all been there, waiting for the right time, telling ourselves we'll start tomorrow, next week, next month. But let me ask you something. When has waiting ever built momentum? When has hesitation ever moved the needle? It hasn't. Success doesn't come from perfection. It comes from progress. You don't have to see the whole staircase to take the first step. You just have to move. Because action breeds confidence. Action creates clarity. And in 2025, if you're still waiting for the perfect moment, you're going to wake up a year from now in the exact same place. And I know that's not what you want. Emotional reactivity. How often do we let our emotions run the show? How many times have you said or done something in the heat of the moment and regretted it later? In business, relationships, and life, emotional intelligence is everything. You need to train yourself to respond, not react. That means pausing. That means stepping back, getting perspective, and making decisions from a place of power, not impulse. People who master their emotions master their future. People who let their emotions control them, they stay stuck in cycles of frustration and regret. And you are better than that. Neglecting health and energy. Your energy is your greatest asset, period. It doesn't matter how big your dreams are. If you don't have the energy to execute, you won't get there. Yet people treat their health like an afterthought. They eat junk, skip workouts, sleep 5 hours a night, and then wonder why they feel exhausted all the time. You don't need motivation, you need rituals. Get your body moving. Fuel yourself with the right foods. Hydrate like your life depends on it, because it does. Your body is your vehicle for success, and if you're not treating it like a high-performance machine, don't expect high-performance results. Chasing distractions over purpose. Let's get real. How much time are you wasting scrolling through social media, binge watching shows, consuming negativity? Most people don't realize it, but they're giving away their focus. And where your focus goes, your energy flows. 2025 is about reclaiming your attention. That means setting boundaries. That means prioritizing what truly matters, because distractions will always be there. But if you don't learn to control them, they will control you. And nothing great is ever built on distraction. Lack of financial discipline. Money is energy. It's a tool, but if you don't learn to control it, it will control you. Most people live paycheck to paycheck, not because they don't make enough, but because they don't manage what they have. Start investing in your future. Start saving. Start making decisions from a place of strategy, not impulse. Wealth isn't about luck. It's about habits. And the people who master money are the ones who don't just think about today, but build for tomorrow. So here's the deal. 2025 is your year, but it won't happen by accident. It happens by choice. Eliminate procrastination, master your emotions, prioritize your energy, cut the distractions, own your financial future. Do this, and I promise you, when you look back on this year, you won't just see progress. You'll see transformation. Most people wait. They wait for the right time, the right feeling, the perfect conditions. They tell themselves they'll start when they have more energy, more money, more confidence. But here's the truth. Waiting is a lie. The idea that there will ever be a perfect time is just an illusion the mind creates to justify staying in the comfort zone. And comfort, that's the silent killer of dreams, because while you're waiting, someone else is moving. While you're hesitating, someone else is taking action, and when you finally decide to get started, you realize you're miles behind because you spent too long stuck in overthinking. It's not that people don't want to take action. It's that they've conditioned themselves to believe they need to feel ready first. They assume confidence comes before action, when in reality, it's the other way around. Confidence is built through action. You don't wait to feel ready to go to the gym. You go. And through repetition, you become the type of person who works out consistently. You don't wait to feel confident to start a business. You start, you make mistakes, you learn, and you build the confidence through the process. Every time you take action, you send a message to your subconscious that you are the kind of person who follows through, and that builds identity. But every time you hesitate, delay, or make excuses, you reinforce the opposite identity, that of someone who plays small, second guesses themselves, and stays stuck. The biggest mistake people make is thinking they need motivation to start. Motivation is fleeting. Some days you'll feel inspired and some days you won't. If you rely on motivation, you'll stay inconsistent. But if you rely on discipline, you'll create momentum. And momentum is the real secret to success. The hardest part of anything is the beginning. That first step, that initial push. It feels heavy. But once you start moving, you create energy, and suddenly what felt impossible starts to feel doable. Think about a train. When it's at a standstill, it takes a tremendous amount of force to get it moving, but once it builds momentum, it becomes nearly unstoppable. The same principle applies to you. The reason people stay stuck is because they never push through that initial resistance. They stop before they even get started, and in doing so, they rob themselves of the opportunity to build momentum. But the moment you decide to take action, even if it's small, you shift everything. The key is lowering the barrier to entry. If going to the gym for an hour feels overwhelming, start with 5 minutes. If starting a business feels too big, focus on one small task today. The mistake is thinking you need to do it all at once. You don't. You just need to start. Because once you start, everything changes. Action isn't just the cure for procrastination. It's the cure for fear, doubt, and hesitation. And in 2025, if you want to win, you can't afford to wait. You must move now. Life isn't about what happens to you. It's about how you respond. Most people don't realize it, but they are living in reaction mode. Something goes wrong and they lash out. Someone criticizes them and they take it personally. They let their emotions dictate their decisions, and as a result, they stay trapped in cycles of frustration, regret, and missed opportunities. The truth is, emotions are powerful, but if you don't learn to control them, they will control you. And when emotions are in the driver's seat, logic, strategy, and long-term thinking take a back seat. How many times have you said something in the heat of the moment that you wished you could take back? How often have you made an impulsive decision because of anger, fear, or anxiety, only to regret it later? This is what happens when emotions take over. Instead of responding with clarity, people react with impulse, and impulse rarely leads to the right outcome. The most successful people in the world, whether in business, relationships, or personal growth, are the ones who master their emotions. They don't suppress them, and they don't ignore them, but they do control them. Because control isn't about denying what you feel, it's about choosing how you act in response to those feelings. Think about a fire. A small spark can either be contained and used productively, or it can be left to burn out of control and destroy everything in its path. Emotion is the same way. If you let anger build unchecked, it can ruin relationships, cloud judgment, and create unnecessary conflict. If you let fear dictate your actions, it will keep you small, stuck, and incapable of taking risks. But if you learn to harness emotions, to step back and assess before reacting, you turn them into a tool for growth rather than destruction. The secret to mastering emotions is creating space between stimulus and response. When something triggers you, don't react immediately. Pause, breathe, ask yourself, is this response going to help or hurt me in the long run? That split second of awareness changes everything. It shifts you from being reactive to being intentional. The greatest leaders, negotiators, and decision makers understand this. They don't make decisions when they're emotionally charged, and they don't let fleeting feelings dictate permanent choices. Instead, they train themselves to respond with logic, strategy, and purpose. This isn't about shutting down emotions. It's about owning them. Because when you own your emotions, you own your life. When you learn to regulate anger, you stop making destructive choices. When you stop letting fear dictate your actions, you take bolder steps towards success. And when you learn to detach from negativity, you protect your energy and keep your focus on what truly matters. The difference between those who succeed and those who struggle isn't that one group never experiences emotions. It's that one group controls their emotions while the other is controlled by them. And in 2025, if you want to elevate your life, you must learn to take control of the one thing that has always been within your power, your response. Your energy is everything. It determines how you think, how you feel, how you perform, and ultimately how you live. Yet most people treat their energy as an afterthought. They wake up tired, drag themselves through the day, rely on caffeine to keep them going, and wonder why they feel drained all the time. But here's the truth. If you don't take care of your body won't take care of you. And without energy, everything suffers. Your work suffers, your relationships suffer, your ability to focus, stay disciplined, and achieve your goals suffers, because no matter how big your ambitions are, if you don't have the energy to execute, you won't get anywhere. Energy isn't just physical, it's mental, emotional, and even spiritual. And every choice you make either fuels your energy or depletes it. What you eat, how you move, how you breathe, how much you sleep, it all matters. Most people wait until they're exhausted or facing a health crisis before they start paying attention to their well-being. They treat their body like a machine they can run into the ground and expect it to keep going. But the human body doesn't work that way. If you neglect it, if you overload it with stress, if you don't give it the rest and fuel it needs, it will break down. And when it does, no amount of willpower or ambition will be able to save you. The biggest mistake people make is thinking they don't have time to focus on their health. They tell themselves they're too busy to exercise, too overwhelmed to eat right, too stressed to prioritize sleep. But the irony is, the busier you are, the more important your health becomes. Because when you optimize your energy, everything else becomes easier. You think more clearly, you move faster, you get more done in less time. The same tasks that once felt overwhelming become effortless because your brain and body are operating at a higher level. It's not about perfection, it's about consistency. You don't need to spend hours in the gym, but you do need to move every day. You don't need to eat a perfect diet, but you do need to be conscious of what you put into your body. You don't need to be a sleep expert, but you do need to respect the fact that your brain and body need rest to perform at their best. Small, simple habits: drinking more water, getting sunlight in the morning, practicing deep breathing, stretching, cutting back on processed foods. These are not massive changes, but they create massive results over time. Success isn't just about working hard, it's about working smart. And working smart means taking care of the one thing that allows you to do everything else, your health. Because in 2025, if you want to perform at your peak, if you want to show up as your best self, you need to stop treating your energy as optional and start making it your priority. Focus is your most valuable asset. In a world full of distractions, the ability to control your attention is the difference between success and stagnation. Most people don't lose because they lack talent, intelligence, or opportunity. They lose because they are constantly distracted. Their minds are scattered, their attention is pulled in 100 different directions, and they never commit long enough to master anything. They wake up, check their phones first thing in the morning, scroll through endless feeds, get bombarded with notifications, and spend their day reacting instead of creating. They consume more than they produce. And at the end of the day, they wonder why they feel exhausted but have nothing to show for it. Every minute spent on distractions is a minute stolen from your purpose. Social media, endless entertainment, gossip, negativity, these things don't just waste time. They drain energy, they weaken discipline, and they condition the brain for short-term gratification instead of long-term success. The real danger of distractions isn't just the time they take, it's what they do to your ability to focus on what matters. When your brain is constantly switching between tasks, scrolling through content, and chasing the next dopamine hit, it loses its ability to concentrate deeply, and deep focus is where the magic happens. It's where skills are built, where mastery is developed, where real breakthroughs occur. Most people have no idea how much their distractions are costing them. They think 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there isn't a big deal. But those small moments add up. They add up to hours, days, weeks, and eventually years of lost potential. Imagine if you reclaimed even half of the time you waste on distractions and invested it into your growth. Reading, learning, building, improving yourself. The difference between where you are and where you want to be isn't luck or talent. It's what you do with your attention. The solution isn't just about removing distractions, it's about replacing them with purpose. When you have a strong enough reason to focus, distractions lose their power. If you don't have a clear vision, your mind will wander, but when you know exactly what you want and you are fully committed to making it happen, distractions become irrelevant. You don't have time for meaningless entertainment. You don't have time for negativity. You don't have time for anything that doesn't move you forward. Protecting your focus means setting boundaries. It means turning off notifications, setting time limits on social media, creating an environment that supports deep work, and surrounding yourself with people who inspire and challenge you instead of pulling you into distraction. It means being intentional with your time, treating every minute as an investment, and understanding that focus is like a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger it gets. In 2025, the people who win won't be the ones who consume the most information or stay the busiest. The winners will be the ones who master their focus, cut out distractions, and channel their energy into what truly matters. Because in the end, success isn't about how much you do, it's about how much you do with full, undivided attention. Money is not just a tool, it's a reflection of your habits, your mindset, and your level of discipline. Most people struggle financially not because they don't earn enough, but because they don't manage what they have. They live in a cycle of spending, reacting, and hoping things will change without ever taking control. They tell themselves they'll save when they start making more money, but when that time comes, their lifestyle expands and they still have nothing left at the end of the month. They fall into the trap of impulse purchases, emotional spending, and short-term gratification, never realizing that financial freedom isn't about how much you make, it's about how well you manage what you have. The biggest mistake people make with money is treating it as something to be spent rather than something to be grown. Every dollar you earn is either working for you or against you. It's either building your future or being wasted on things that don't truly add value to your life. The problem is, most people don't track where their money is going. They don't have a plan. They don't invest. They don't think about how small daily decisions like eating out, unnecessary subscriptions, or buying things they don't need add up over time. And before they know it, years go by and they're still in the same financial situation, struggling, stressed, and wondering why they can't seem to get ahead. Financial discipline isn't about depriving yourself. It's about making intentional choices that give you more freedom in the future. It's about setting a budget and sticking to it. It's about understanding the difference between needs and wants. It's about learning how to make your money work for you through investments, smart savings, and wealth building strategies instead of letting it disappear on mindless spending. The people who win financially aren't the ones who make the most money. They're the ones who learn how to keep it, grow it, and use it wisely. Debt is another trap that keeps people stuck. Credit cards, car loans, unnecessary financing, these things might seem harmless in the moment, but they add up and steal your financial future. The moment you owe money, your freedom is compromised. The interest you pay on debt is money that could have been invested, saved, or used to build something meaningful. And the worst part, most people don't even realize how much their debt is costing them until they're drowning in it. The key is to break free by living below your means, paying off what you owe aggressively, and refusing to finance a lifestyle that doesn't align with your long-term goals. Your financial future is in your hands. No one is coming to save you. If you want freedom, if you want choices, if you want to live life on your own terms, you must take control. That means making sacrifices today so you can live with abundance tomorrow. That means educating yourself on money, surrounding yourself with people who are financially disciplined, and making decisions that serve your future instead of just your present desires. In 2025, the people who win financially will be the ones who commit to financial mastery, who stop making excuses, and who take ownership of their money. Because money, when managed well, creates opportunities, choices, and the ability to design life on your own terms. Growth is uncomfortable. It forces you to face your fears, challenge your limits, and step into the unknown. Yet most people spend their entire lives avoiding discomfort. They cling to what's familiar, even if it's holding them back. They stay in jobs they hate, relationships that drain them, and routines that keep them stagnant because the idea of change feels too overwhelming. But here's the truth. Everything you want, everything you dream of exists outside of your comfort zone. And the more you avoid discomfort, the more you delay your potential. The reason most people never reach their goals isn't because they aren't capable. It's because they refuse to push past the resistance that comes with growth. They start something new, face the first sign of difficulty, and quit. They say they want success, but they aren't willing to go through the temporary struggle required to achieve it. They want the rewards without the sacrifice, the transformation without the discomfort, the results without the work. But real success doesn't work that way. Growth requires effort. It demands that you break old patterns, challenge limiting beliefs, and do things that scare you. It's not supposed to feel easy. If it were easy, everyone would do it. The most successful people in the world have one thing in common. They embrace discomfort. They don't run from challenges, they seek them out. They understand that fear is not a stop sign. It's a signal that you're moving in the right direction. They know that failure isn't something to avoid, it's something to learn from. Every setback, every struggle, every uncomfortable moment is an opportunity to grow stronger, wiser, and more resilient. But most people never give themselves that chance. The moment things get hard, they back down, and in doing so, they rob themselves of the transformation that could have changed their lives. Discomfort is the price of success, and if you're not willing to pay it, you'll stay exactly where you are. The key is to rewire your mindset around struggle. Instead of seeing challenges as something to fear, start seeing them as opportunities. Instead of avoiding failure, embrace it as part of the process. Instead of waiting until you feel ready, start before you're ready. Because the truth is, you will never feel fully prepared. You will never feel 100% confident before you take the leap. Confidence doesn't come first, action does. The more you step into discomfort, the more confidence you build, the more skills you develop, and the more unstoppable you become. The greatest version of yourself is on the other side of discomfort. The life you want isn't waiting for you to feel ready, it's waiting for you to take the leap. And in 2025, if you want to create real change, if you want to elevate your life to the next level, you must stop waiting for the perfect moment and start embracing the discomfort that comes with growth. Because in the end, discomfort isn't the enemy, it's the path to everything you've ever wanted. At the end of the day, your future is in your hands. The decisions you make, the habits you build, and the standards you set for yourself in 2025 will determine where you end up. If you keep waiting for the perfect moment, you'll stay stuck. If you let your emotions control you, you'll keep making choices that don't serve you. If you neglect your health, you'll never have the energy to chase your goals. If you stay distracted, you'll waste time on things that don't matter. If you mismanage your money, you'll always feel trapped. And if you avoid discomfort, you'll never grow into the person you're meant to be. But if you take control, if you commit to action, master your emotions, protect your energy, eliminate distractions, take charge of your finances, and embrace discomfort, you will transform your life. Because success isn't about luck, and it isn't about waiting for the right circumstances. It's about the choices you make every single day. So in 2025, stop making excuses, stop playing small, and stop holding yourself back. Step up, take ownership, and create the life you are meant to live.